Hey everyone, welcome back. So in the last video we learned how to fetch data over an API. In this video we are going to see how to deserialize this data. In case you wonder what is deserialization, so deserialization is the process by which data in JSON format or XML format is converted into object form, or we can say that the state of the data is changed from JSON or XML to object form, so that it can be displayed inside our project. So in order to do this, we need to construct some classes from the JSON data that we have received. Let's go and have a look at the data that we have received. So this is our project. Our console is running fine, and this is our browser that is displaying our application. If I do Ctrl+Shift+M, we will get the mobile view. At present we are not displaying any data, so let it be in the browser view as only. And if I just open as I open the developer tools, let's click on inspect element and console, and if you can see, here we have the data. So this is the data that we are receiving as the page loads. Why? Because our data is written inside ng-on-init, that is inside home page class. So as soon as the home page loads, the data fetching logic executes and we get the data over the API. We have displayed this data using console log, and that's why we are able to see it here. So the first step is to create some classes to receive this data onto the code. So for that we can do a lot of things. Just see here, if we can this is our data that we are getting over the API, and it contains of a lot of fields. And what we can do, we can go to our code and manually create some classes there whose member variables should match the name of these variables. Now this is one thing, and it is a long process and a tedious process. So there are some tools that are provided in Visual Studio Code with the help of which we can create classes without much effort. Let's see what they are. So guys, there is a feature in Visual Studio Code known as extensions. We can open these extensions by going to view and then opening extensions, but as we do things by shortcuts and we must do them, so the shortcut to open extensions is Ctrl+Shift and X, and here we have to type quick type. So this is a tool that will help us convert or generate some classes with the help of JSON, and let's install it. And this extension is enabled globally, so it's good. Let's go back to our code. Let me make, how does that work? We have to make a new file and let its name be product.json, and here we have to type in the data. So if we go to our URL localhost 3030 products and search for raw data, let me select it all, copy it and paste it into product.json. Now I have pasted all the data, and we cannot see it because we have to format the file. For this, please press Ctrl+Shift+I, and now you can see that our data is formatted in the correct manner, and we can see how the data looks. Now the next step, just save this file first. The next step is to press Ctrl+Shift+P and open QuickType for JSON. Now you can see here is a readable file that is opened, and it contains the class structure that we need to have to receive this data. So what we will do, we will go to our F folder, and we are going to make a new folder known as classes, and inside this classes I am going to make some new files, the name of which will be products.ts. The second one will be data.ts. The third one will be category.ts, and I am going to put this code inside, product take this code, paste it inside here. Now the file name is products and the class name is product, so let me give it an extra s. Let me type in or copy this code and paste it inside data.ts, and here it is data, here it is datum. So let me change the name. Let me take the code for category and paste it inside category.ts, and I think we are done with creating the files. Let me save all of them, and type is what is type. We should see it inside our data here. Control F and Control V. Let me maximize it, and type is hard code. Type is hard code. I mean, I'm just trying to see what, and there is only one value for type, so it's of no use taking type as an enum. Let me take it as a string. I think that's okay now. Category, we need to import this category class, so go to quick fix and import category. That is done. And in product, I need, it is not datum, it is data that we are using, so let me change it to data. Let me save it. Let me import the class with the help of quick fix. Do the right import or we will have to suffer the consequences. So I think guys, our objects are now ready. So let us use these objects inside our code. Here I am going to make a variable products of type products, and now here I am going to assign this dot products the value of data, and in order to see whether we received all this assignment is successful or not, let me print this products as well. Let's see if everything is fine. Category.ts is not a module. Data.ts, there is some problem in data.ts, and it's not a module. So what is the problem? Let me see what the problem is. So let me pause the video for a second. So the problem was that there was no problem, just a sloppy behavior from a developer side, and that is known as not saving your files before executing the code. When I saved all the files, Ctrl S, Ctrl S and Ctrl S, everything just automatically started running. So guys, that is what I am saying. Always your left hand must always be ready to press Ctrl and S. So as I saved all my files, my page loaded automatically, and if you can see here, there are two objects that are printed, and in our code, if we see in homepage.ts, we have got two console logs. First console log displaying the data that we received, and the second console log displaying the products that have been assigned the data. So it is also displayed as the above one. So the data is now successfully assigned to products, and now we can use this products to show that display the data that we have fetched over the API in our HTML file. Before doing this, let me do one more thing. Let me try to print this data over console so that we can see how to access the data. So in JavaScript we have a for loop that has the syntax for let product and product of this dot products dot data. Now it is important to note that the data of a product is inside the data array, and that's why we are iterating over the data array. Let me console log some more things, that is product dot name, and let me do one more thing. Let me print product dot price, and let's see what effect does it make. And if we can see, now here is the list that is displayed, and bingo, these are the names of the products and these are the prices of the products. So guys, we have successfully deserialized JSON data into JavaScript object, and in the next video now we are going to learn about displaying this data into objects onto our HTML page. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for next.